Finding customers is challenging enough, but finding the right kind of customers is even more challenging. When we're talking about attracting high lifetime value customers, like those who will take advantage of upsell and cross-sell opportunities, have low likely costs associated with maintaining them as customers, and have a high likelihood of helping to attract other high lifetime value customers, it is not enough for customers to simply acquire more customers. They must acquire the right customer. This is true in many verticals, including healthcare, retail, higher education, and even high tech. So how do we attract high lifetime value customers? Traditional marketing strategies are not always enough. You must understand who high lifetime value customers are and which segments are likely to provide a high lifetime value. But you must also be able to provide value to these customers at each step of the customer journey. Often, this means providing offers that increase or decrease based on factors like whether or not a particular customer promises a high lifetime value and whether or not that customer is likely to abandon the buyer's journey at any particular step of that journey. If you've ever canceled a subscription that you aren't using only to get shown an insanely low offer as a last-ditch effort to keep you as a customer, you've seen this dynamic in action. But sometimes it's not this apparent when customers are at risk of churn. The need to attract high lifetime value customers is possibly no less apparent than in the real estate management space. Great places to live, particularly new buildings in desirable neighborhoods, will usually have no challenge filling their units. But renting to high lifetime value tenants versus renting to low value tenants, people with a high likelihood of churn, for example, can translate into a great deal more revenue over the long term for real estate development and management companies. Acquia Journey is a great tool for helping marketing teams deliver that best next action to customers, allowing marketers to easily visually map customer journey branching scenarios, install listeners for collecting data at each step of the way, and utilize connectors to easily integrate with external systems like these to provide a cohesive data flow in real time for each customer. But for this type of agility, manually setting customer branching scenarios is often not enough. And this is where data science, scoring models, and machine learning come into play. Acquia Journey allows you to easily connect to these types of systems, whether they're scoring models accessible via web services, real-time classification using R scripts, which can actually be embedded directly in Acquia Journey, sentiment analysis engines, or the like. But connecting to data models, we are able to provide automated real-time scoring at each step of the journey and use Acquia Journey to automate the process of selecting that best next action based on what value comes back from the scoring model. Let's take a look at how this can be done in action. Bizzuto, a real estate management, development, sales, and construction company, is developing, building, and managing an upscale luxury apartment project at the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C. The name of the property is Aqua. Here is Megan, a high-powered millennial who is on social media flipping through her feed. She lives in a Washington, D.C. area, is 28, single, and highly successful. Based on her similarity to other high-powered millennials, she represents the type of high lifetime value customer that a newly opening high-end apartment complex in a desirable DC neighborhood would want to attract. A simple credit check can tell us that she's a safe bet to pay her rent on time. But more importantly, she represents a demographic that is likely to stay as a resident for several years, move into a bigger place when she meets a partner, and ultimately purchase a home when she starts a family. In short, she is just the type of tenant Bizzuto would love to bring on board. Here, we can see Megan's customer journey in the Acquia Journey tool. She will start on social media by clicking on an ad. That will bring her to the Bizzuto.com homepage. Acquia Lift will then segment Megan in real time and provide personalized content on the web channel. This personalization experience will carry over as she submits forms and get served different versions of an email that will be personalized based on her behavior and her demographic. At each point of the journey, we will connect with a scoring model that will update and assess her score, that will assess whether or not she's going to risk abandoning the customer journey at any point. Based on this updating of the score, she will be served a particular offer that will be designed to maintain her in the customer journey as she goes through. Here, Megan flips through her Facebook feed and sees a targeted ad for a new property opening in Washington, D.C. The ad appears as part of a lookalike audience media buy targeting users who are similar to Megan, high-powered millennials. Megan clicks on the ad. Megan is brought to the property homepage, where she is presented with a personalized experience. Acquia Lift has used a UTM campaign code to identify Megan as a high-powered millennial and is serving her personalized content in real time. She clicks on the CTA to register as a new customer. Megan's personalized experience continues when she visits the page to create an account. Using Acquia Lift, we are able to measure the effectiveness of a targeted content by signifying a goal to track the likelihood that someone served a particular piece of content will actually fill out this form. She fills out the form requesting more information. She opts into the marketing and communication selection on the form and submits. This generates a personalized email. Megan opens the email, and we can see that this is personalized. Acquia Journey has captured her segment information and leveraged an integration with SendGrid, an email engine, to deliver personalized email. Now that we have gotten Megan to raise her hand, we're able to track her activities using her email address as a unique identifier. Leveraging Acquia Journey, we can use a scoring algorithm that updates the risk score with each activity of the journey, right here, and right here. This will assess in real time how likely Megan is to abandon the buying journey and act accordingly. We'll also be able to track metrics at each step of the way. Here we can see the pin metrics keep track at each point of the journey of how often a particular metric is happening. These can be things like page visits, form submits, and the like. This will help the marketing team to measure and refine the journey over time. Megan clicks on the link to sign up for a tour of the property. This brings her to the page to schedule a tour. She fills out the form and submits. A few weeks later, Megan shows up to the property and signs into the kiosk. Much of the information she will fill out in the form, number of pets, relationship status, age, and income, for example, are submitted from the form through Acquia Journey and fed directly into the scoring model to update Megan's risk score. The value of this score will determine how aggressive an offer she will be presented with in order to entice her to become a new tenant. Here we can see the marketing team has configured Acquia Journey to react in real time with an offer based on the segment as well as the current risk score. Based on this information, one of 3 offers will be emailed to Megan. Let's see what this looks like. I'll drill into this node right here. And here we see a branching node that shows our logic. If I drill into this decision tree, we can see that we are targeting the segment, either the Gen X dink or the high-powered millennial. And then we're also targeting the risk score. So a person who is a Gen X dink will get result number 1. A person who is a high-powered millennial with a risk score of less than or equal to 25 will get result 2. And a high-powered millennial who has a risk score greater than 25 will get result 3. Now these are all captured directly in the tool as well. and integrated with SendGrid. So each one of these represents one of the results that will be served to Megan based on her segment and her risk score. A few days after she visits the property, Megan receives an offer that is too good to pass up. Because Megan is a high-powered millennial, and because her risk score suggests that she is weighing several competing offers from competitors, Aqua will waive her first and last month's rent as well as her security deposit. That is enough for Megan. She signs up the next day and begins a long and prosperous relationship with Bizzuto, upsizing her dwelling several times over the years before ultimately purchasing her first Bizzuto home in about 6 years. We have just seen Acquia Journey in action. Here, Journey allows marketers to automate the delivery of the best next action to each customer by integrating data flow from several systems. In this case, Journey listeners have tied together social, web, and email channels and fed behavioral and form data to a real-time scoring model in order to decide which offer to present. Leveraging the strategic expertise of a full-service agency like YesAnd with the data science expertise of ISI, Acquia Journey is the glue that binds together all of these systems. For delivering great customer experiences across all channels, with Acquia Journey, the sky is the limit. Thank you.